Hi guys, not DA exposing ANC and showing that actually they are in control of everything that is happening there. Not DA proving that the ANC is not on the driving seat. Not DA proving that no, they've got experience in this. Not not Mbalula embarrassing himself on national television. You see this thing of going into bed with an enemy. Hey, guys, we are seeing this government of national unity cracking, and there are a lot of now loopholes and everything from the beginning.
It's fine.
Now, Clement asked very important question. How are you going to agree? Because in matters, the DA doesn't believe in look in what wage, and then you when as an ANC you believe in it. How are you going to agree? Because the law say you need 60%, and with all the people that you have currently, if you remove the MK party, you remove you guys remove the MK party, you removed EFF. So you remove them, you bring all the other people that you have. You cannot your national government of national unity cannot give you 60%. Therefore, you can't make the decision. The DA will remain with its 20%. If they disagree, then when are you not going to do anything about it? You will wait for them to agree. How? You say this thing of thinking that you are smart and you get caught in your own actions. That is what has happened to ANC. Not Fikile Mbalula embarrassing himself. He can't even answer a simple question. You can't say we've got it, because he was confident, saying they've got it controlled, they've got it under control, they know what they are doing, but he was caught right-handed. He couldn't answer the simple question. How are you, because the law requires you to have the 60% so that you can make a decision, and an important decision. How are you going to do it? Because in that setup, this DA, how are you going to arrive at that point? We told you, this is not a government of national unity. This is the coalition between the DA and the ANC. People said we are lying. Tina, we hate look. Ramaphosa sold out Mbalula and their friends. They sold out from you black people. They sold out from the beginning. We are seeing them for who they are. No wonder. Look, did you hear? Oh, look, your President Ramaphosa saying we're not gonna work with the troubling parties, or the parties that are causing troubles. You know what he was referring to? MK and EFF. We're not gonna work with them. Ramaphosa is white inside. It is only the skin that is black, but inside himself he's white. Well, Tinagela, we are like this. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Oh, this guy, who's this guy? Fikile Mbalula, not Julius Malema. Uti Ramaphosa can't work with he can't work with without supervision. He says he needs a supervision from the white people because he can't function. Like, I can tell, man, that man, no. The decisions that Ramaphosa is taking, I can't. There was once upon a time there was racism. Ramaphosa kept quiet. That's when he was named Noktul. But together, yeah, I'm thinking about Fikile Mbalula. He accepted the interview. He goes on a national television just to embarrass himself. Yeah. I'll show you the embarrassment. Don't worry, wait for me there. Julius Malema was speaking about Fikile Mbalula. He wants to analyze Fikile Mbalula, ne? So he had an interesting view about Fikile Mbalula that I know it will leave you asking questions about Fikile Mbalula. Because Fikile Mbalula is somebody else, I'm telling you. Take a look at what Malema said here.
So you comrades must reason better than Fikile Mbalula. You comrade must say bagamphala kamuka, not Fikile Mbalula. Fikile Mbalula doesn't read and has got no time to himself. Uatsamaya, after the results they announced or how many people registered to vote. Uatsamaya, we are more Twitter. Or 2 million plus people have registered to vote. The president of the student command corrects him. Or no, it's not 2 million. It's 500,000 plus. Our candidate Thola. Ograr no, Mushimano was student command. Overla net. Utilita Twitter yela. Ungwala information yela afilenke president ya student command. Again, our telege. Mara Mushimano mutin wabon. Umuporila ampur mfano waya correct. Yalo unyokolwa le mfanula. He's got no thought process and thinking capacity to can coin something that will paralyze that boy. Arwa Mushimanola Uri, 2024 is our 2024. I get by Shimala about 2024 is our 1994. Oh, counter Mushimanola. Or 2024 is our 2024. Why Kori, it has gone extremely low. He couldn't think of anything.
Okay, so we're about to go through this, right? So then there's an interview that happened, that was conducted by Umanyatela. In that interview, we saw Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of the ANC, a person that is supposed to speak in confidence, a person that when he speaks, people must listen, a person that must speak with intelligence, a person that must use his intellect when he interact with people, a person that must inspire confidence when people are listening to him, a person that is supposed to give direction but appears like he's the most individual who's lost more than everybody else that is alive at this moment. Like I'm telling you, now I believe fully. I believe them, but now I believe fully the words of Unatin Tlego when he says that the people that are left, ANC, none of them is intelligent. Like now I believe. But obviously we know Abolindi Osisulu, those ones, we minus them, Abonko Sazana Zuma, we minus them. We are talking about the ones that are prominently leading the party now. Nah. Fikile Mbalula is an embarrassment. How did you choose Fikile Mbalula to represent such an organization? So he goes on the national television. He's supposed to answer a document he signed himself. He signed a document of what is this document? A document of government of national unity. He signed something that he understands. Before he jotted his signature on the dotted line, He understood what he was doing. Therefore, he must defend it now. Oi, what la mazamban? Ashisa. Oh, Jehovah. That guy asked him basic, simple question. Take a look at what he said. Here.
Of course, let's say 80% or 90% of the times you guys are going to agree. But the reality is there are policy differences, which is why I'm using the national minimum wage for a reason. I'm using the war in the Middle East for a reason, because that's where you don't see eye to eye. So in that 1 or 5% where you have fundamental differences in policy, how do you deal with it? That's
the minimum wage cannot be reversed.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm saying, what if you want to increase it by 1 rand? The DA doesn't believe in that.
The question is, there is no party that has got the veto power within the government of national unity. So for us to agree, it means that we put a threshold not of a single party. You must understand the 60% how it operates. Start with 50%, which would have included, if it was a grand coalition, 2 parties. Mm-hmm. But the fact that we have broadened that, reflective of the parties that are in the National Assembly to participate in the GNU, you have then raised the threshold to 60%. So it means of those parties that participate, that will determine broadly a bigger decision that needs to be taken within government.
And you as the ANC with 40%, let's say you've got the IFP, the DA, the PAC, the Good Party, that still doesn't give you 50%, does it? You need the DA. That's the point I'm trying to make.
It might as well happen that the DA disagrees, but I'm saying it does not have the veto power from not saying the decision cannot be taken. The threshold of 60% is of all the parties which will be participating.
And I'm saying you don't have the threshold of 60%. Put the DA aside. Take you, IFP, PAC, Good Party, PA. You don't have 50%. There's not much you can do on your own. At the end of the day, you are going to need the DA, even if it's just 10 members of the DA. You're going to need them in order to deal with any deadlock that you may have.
When you constitute government and you talk about 60% and political parties broadly that participate, the determination of the decisions, how they are taken in terms of cabinet, at the end of the day, should there be any other deadlock with regard to the executive, the deadlock breaking mechanism at your disposal is to negotiate and engage in a sufficient consensus. But it does not apply in terms of decision making such that a party can have a veto power over the executive decision making process. The question that must be interrogated, which is what I think you are in a hurry to make a determination about the DA having veto powers, is that a single political party cannot stop the operations of the executive in this unless institutionalized and reflected in the constitution of the country that that veto power, it is acceptable.
And the executive is the government of national unity, it's not the ANC, right?
The government of national unity is of all parties that participate.
Which is why you need an agreement. So as the ANC, when you say you can't stop the operations of the executive is not the ANC. The executive is the government of national unity. That's why those people need to agree. At the very least, 60% of them must agree. So but let's move on from it. I'm going to bring in Helen Zille, because Helen Zille actually told me that the ANC is not going to be able to do anything without 60%. They have 20%, you have 40%. The document you have signed says if there's a deadlock, at least 60% of parties must agree. And unfortunately for you as the ANC, the IFP, the Good Party, the PA, all the other smaller parties don't give you 60%. At the end of the day, you need the DA to come and rubber stamp whatever decision you're going to make. That's what's according to the document you've signed.
No, I think the interpretation of the decision, also in terms of our discussion, is what need to be clarified.
Okay.
And that is what is important.
All right. We'll hear from Helen Zille in a moment about how they interpret that. Let's talk about the alliance partners.
Hi, man, not Fikile Mbalula embarrassing himself. If you listen to Fikile Mbalula, right, he said one thing, and he said that there's one thing that Fikile Mbalula wanted to the narrative that he wanted to sell throughout the interview. And that narrative is that, listen, the ANC and no one in this national government of national unit is superior. We are all equal. That's the narrative that he wanted to sell. So this guy asked him, simple, I get it. I hear. What you're saying, it makes sense. But make it make sense now in this context. You want to make a decision about a minimum wage. We know the standpoint of EMBARRASED. They are saying they are opposed to this. How are you going to make it if the EMBARRASED decide to pull out of it? We are being subjected to the most chaotic government ever. How do you bring two people when they are available option? Just because I told you there's a problem with your President Ramaphosa. That meant do you remember when I said to you, the way ETA is so confident around Ramaphosa, it worries me. DA cannot be this confident around Ramaphosa. When they talk about Ramaphosa, they talk about their guy. They are talking about your president, but they refer to him as their guy. Hey guys, it can't be. There's something wrong that we are missing here. Like DA, in terms of this government of national unity, DA was leading in everything. They are now dictating terms. They are now saying no. Basically, there's no one who's going to take a decision here without unless they consult us. That's DA for you. The same DA will tell you nobody's going to get to join this coalition except we approve it. That's the same DA that says no, we don't want EFF. We don't want MK Party. So who is in charge in this coalition between ANC and DA? I can bet DA is in charge of this, not the other way around. But it is being sold as if the president, they gave President Ramaphosa because they knew that we will awake. But the DA here is in charge. How do I know that the DA is in charge? Because you think I'm joking. I heard it from Helen Zille herself. Listen to how Helen Zille speaks. There's one thing that you should appreciate about Helen Zille is that she's straightforward. That one thing I appreciate about her. She's not meandering around the bush and saying things, the fragmentation of the fragmented. That fragmented, Helen Zille tells you something straight. Maybe that's why Malema once said that he preferred dealing with a Boer than dealing with an English person. Because an English person fakes a lot, but a Boer will tell you straight. When they hate you, it ends there. Right? Like this racist DA councillor that is trending right now. We know he hates us. He's just now inconvenienced that he must go to parliament. But they then called to Helen Zille, and Helen Zille had to answer for herself on behalf of the DA. And this is what she said.
Of the members considered for appointment. So he can't just let anybody come in. He's got to consult with us, and then he makes the appointments in consultation with the leaders of the parties who have been accepted for admission into the government of national unity.
How extensive do you expect those consultations to be? Should he come to the DA and say, I've got 3 ministerial positions for you, this and this, and then consult you? Do you expect him to say, okay, how do I constitute this government, and you as the DA give your own thoughts on which ministry you think should go to which individual or which political party?
Well, first of all, he can't come along to say we're going to give you 3 ministries, because he has to look at clause 16. Now, clause 16 says that it's a bit of a word salad, clause 16, because it was changed so often backwards and forwards, but it currently says the government of national unity shall be constituted in a manner that reflects genuine inclusiveness of political parties that are party to the statement of intent and are represented in the National Assembly, broadly taking into account the number of seats parties have in the National Assembly and the need to advance the national interest. The President shall, in consulting the Executive, take into account the electoral outcomes. Now, if he takes into account the electoral outcomes of the parties that have already been admitted into the government of national unity by the processes that we've spoken about here, that means whatever the size of the cabinet, we're entitled to 30% of the seats, and the ANC is entitled to 60% of the seats.
Okay.
So you can't say here, well, I'm giving you 3. It doesn't work that. That doesn't work that way.
All right, so it has to constitute about 30%, which is what you are holding in the government of national unity. In numbers, just help our viewers understand, just to be practical in numbers, how many ministries are we talking here, based on how cabinet, how the executive is constituted at the moment?
Well, we don't know how big the cabinet is going to be. We want to reduce the size of the cabinet. So, of course, when you talk about how many seats we're going to get in the cabinet, it depends on how good and the UDM were raised during the negotiations, but definitely not the PA. But, it's not about the PA per se, it's about the principle of this issue. They haven't consulted us, and the ANC must realize that they don't take all the decisions anymore. They didn't win the election. And basically I referred to clause 24. I said, you can't do this. And then I referred to clause 19, the sufficient consensus clause. So he says he'll get back to me, but I'm still waiting for that.
Do you think that really who's in charge? I mean, maybe let me start here. Let me ask you these few questions. Who do you think is in charge of the local government of national unity? One, whose idea was it? I doubt it was the Ramaphosa's idea. I strongly doubt that it was Ramaphosa's idea. It was sold to him by the other party, not him, the blue one, not him. Whose idea was it, this government of national unity? 3, how do you go to bed with your enemy? Let me, guys, I read the Bible again. Let me tell you something. So in the Bible, there was a guy who was a child of David. David had children from different mothers. So there was Absalom and Amnon and Tamar. Tamar is the sister. Absalom and Amnon are brothers. One of this brother is from the same mother with the sister Tamar. And this one, the other brother has his own mother, separate mother. So the difference is their mothers. I just forgot between Tamar and, between Amnon and Absalom who raped the sister. But the one who happened to rape Tamara was the boy who was born by a different mother. So the boy who was from the same mother with the Tamara, the sister that was raped by the other brother, took offense in it. Now I'm going somewhere, I'm going to show you something. He took offense in it. And then he wanted to revenge for his sister, but he did it very strategically. He allows times to pass. This guy had completely forgotten about it. And this guy has been planning all along. So one day, he invites this brother who's the brother to Tamna from the same mother, invite this brother from a different mother, but same father, which is David. He invites him one day to the field. You understand? He says, let's go to the field. They are going in empty-handed. Gandhi, this guy has gone before him and has put some weapons there. Remember that thing that happened years ago? He has completely forgotten about it. So they take a journey to the tree field. When they get there, this guy is comfortable. So when they get there, you know what that guy did? He asked him, why did you do this to my sister? And this guy, they had a normal conversation, but suddenly it turns like, why did you rape my sister? And this guy's like, but that thing happened long ago. I'm sorry. It's like, this guy is like, no, I want to know why. But why? How can you ask this? And then he killed him there and there. Now, let's listen to this one here. The father being David. I'm talking about David in the Bible. The father being David, he's called into the field. Here, now he's told, your other son killed your other son, right? And then he asked, and then he was told that it was an vengeance for what he did to his sister. Listen to the words of David, which are the same words that I'm asking the government of ANC. He asked his basic words, and he says, my son, to the one who is dead, how did you die like a fool? In other words, you know that this is your enemy. You know that this person doesn't love you. Yet you feel comfortable around your enemy. When your enemy get a chance, your enemy will finish you. You will be a thing of a past. It is a very serious mistake to feel comfortable around your enemy. Can I tell you another story? Just to demonstrate this fake marriage between ANC and DA. If one get a chance, one will finish the other one. Let me tell you this. If you remember, there is a story of a lady who got married. This guy marries this lady. Everything is good. So, during the preparation of this marriage, the lady appoints the girl who, the long-term friend, who is supposed to be a matron of honor. It's a matron of honor, but she checks everything. She brings food. She makes sure that, you know what I'm saying? This lady, basically, she was like, I'm scared. People might kill me or might poison me, but I trust you. Oversee everything. Make sure that whosoever cook food that we're going to be eating, you oversee that. Check everything, even the water that we'll be drinking on the day. You oversee that. Like that much of a trust, right? Now, I'm going somewhere. Listen carefully. Her having delegated such responsibility to her, the wedding comes. She gets married today. She died same day, but at night. She gets taken to the hospital. When they get to the hospital, they found that she was poisoned. And then investigation was conducted. Guess who poisoned her? The very friend. And now during the sentencing, she confessed. She says, I killed her because I was jealous that she was getting married and she was treated well whilst I was not being treated well. And thus, I decided to do what I did. This is one perfect demonstration that you can't take a snake and put a snake in your pocket. When it gets warm, it will bite you. Maybe speaking about being bitten or bitten by whatever word you want to use, by a snake, you find it cold. There's a video I keep seeing on Twitter, right? So this is to demonstrate the issue of ANC-DA. There's a video I'm seeing on Twitter recently. I keep seeing it when I scroll. It's a pity I did not save the video. Had I done so, I would have placed this video somewhere here. So some of you will know this video. There's a cow that happens to get stuck. How did it get stuck? It put its head, in a tree. It's one tree, but the tree grew like this, right? So the head of the cow got stuck here. Now, two gentlemen seeing the situation, they go and assist this cow, a literal cow. They go and, like it's a serious story, they go and assist this cow that is stuck there. So they pull these two trees, and then it got loose. The moment this cow it got its freedom, it started chasing after them. We have a problem with this marriage between DA and ANC. One is telling the truth and the other one is lying. One is going to find an opportunity to kill the other. And it's going to be the end of another. Or it's either there's Judas who knows exactly that Jesus is about to get killed, but for the sake of me benefiting from this death, let me sell him and get the coin to the best of my ability so that they kill him, they save my life, I get to keep the coin. I suspect that we are facing such a situation where there's Judas here. Judas knows exactly that Jesus is about to be betrayed, and I'm going to sell him. And he has already sold Jesus in this one.